So this past Friday night, the Eagles ended up beating the Green Bay Packers 34-29. Now, first of all, before we even start talking about who played good, who played well between the Eagles and the Packers, let's just start off and say, NFL, if you're going to have a game in another country, can we have a good football field? I don't understand it. Why is it that it was I imagine it was in Brazil, it was at a soccer stadium, it was a soccer field. How in the world do you go to a soccer field and it not be in the best condition of all time? I don't understand it. Players were slipping and sliding everywhere. So many wide open tackles, and it gave up a lot of touchdowns. It really did. It gave up a whole lot of touchdowns because there was a lot of big plays, a lot of missed open tackles on all them touchdowns. But that's neither here nor there. First of all, next time NFL you want to have a game in another country for the first time ever, have a good feel for the players, brings out the overall performance of the players, and gives the fans a good product. Now on to the next thing. When we have these games in London and Germany, make sure the field is in peak shape, please and thank you. Now, moving on to the game itself. First of all, we want to give a shout out to Jordan Love. He actually only sprained his MCL, and he's only going to be out probably 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 6 to 8, depending on what the grade of the sprain is. I know I saw it on Twitter. There was a lot of videos going around on Twitter showing Jordan Love's leg. It popped. And my first indication was I knew it was an ACL. But the news was that the ACL is intact. It's only an MCL sprain. His ankle's fine. And he's only going to be out a few weeks. And that means it's not season ending. And I know Packers fans were gasping for air when they saw that play. I'm happy for Packers fans. This is not the end of their season. Because Lord knows what we just saw from Malik Willis the last 2 plays. I imagine Packers fans were really, really hoping that Jordan Love was going to be back. But neither here nor there. To get to the game overall, granted, I did miss some of the first quarter. I did have prior obligations the night of the game, so I did miss majority of the first quarter. I probably only watched maybe with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. But from what I was hearing and what I went back and gathered information about, the Packers lost this game more than the Eagles won this game. Because let's be honest with you, Jalen Hurts was trying his best to throw the game away. Jalen Hurts only ended up with 2 interceptions, but I promise you, Jalen Hurts should have had 4 interceptions. Easily should have 4 interceptions. Especially on I don't know if it was the last drive or the second last drive, that ball that he threw to the out of bounds to the sideline that Nixon literally dropped, that was a crib shot. 100% that was a crib shot. I mean, there was no man in front of Nixon, and I promise you, I don't know who the wide receiver was at that point. I don't know if it was Smitty. I know it weren't A.J. Brown. Whoever was over there playing wide receiver, they were not going to be able to catch up with Nixon, and Hurts weren't either. But Jalen Hurts looked bad. Jalen Hurts did not play well in this game at all. And another thing that really is concerning for me when it comes to Jalen Hurts, why does it look like he's so much slower now? Like, what is going on with Hurts? Is his body being beat down by the tush pushes? I know this is a fair fetch to say, but something is, I know I'm probably not the only one that's noticing this. Jalen Hurts' ability to use his legs is looking worse as the games go by in his career. Like, literally, I know Dak was still not the fastest guy, but Jalen Hurts is turning into Dak Prescott when it comes to using his legs. Like, he's not fast at all. He's not elusive. Obviously, we got to give a little slack with the field conditions. But looking at the game, Hurts using his leg is not as effective as it seems to be. Now, he did have that one run where he got that first down. He drove the dude with him like 5 extra yards. That's 600 pounds squatting, baby. That's power. But other than that, his ability to be quick on his feet and be elusive, I don't see it. I really don't see it. Maybe I'm guessing the tush pushes is caught up with him and he really can't wiggle and move like he could. Maybe there's something still going on with his knee. We don't know. But I know I've noticed that. But overall, Hurts played terrible. Jalen Hurts was 20 for 34, 278 yards, 13 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 2 sacks. The stats don't show you how bad he played. He threw 2 boneheaded interceptions. The first one I did miss because, like I said, I did not watch hardly any of the first quarter. But Hurts doing the double coverage. And you're sitting there like, what is Jalen Hurts doing? What is he looking at? We don't know. And then the most boneheaded one, he's traveling to his right. And instead of hitting the guy that was right on the sideline, he throws the ball across his body to the other side of the field. Double coverage, and Jair Alexander picks him off. Like, what is Hurts looking at? Guys, that's only 2 of the picks. Like I said, I explained it earlier. He should have had 4 picks. Outside of Jalen Hurts, though, the biggest takeaway for the Eagles for me was Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley looked like the Saquon Barkley who won Rookie of the Year. The guy looked like he ain't missed a beat. He's been hurt all these years with the ankles and ACLs. The guy looked like he's back in college playing that game. He was fast. Like that last drive when he hit that hole for that like 30, 40-yard run, he shot out of a cannon. This is the Saquon Barkley that is the top 3 running back and easily is going to be super effective on the Eagles. He scares me already after watching that game. He was 24 rushes for 109 yards, average 4.5 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns, and had that 34-yard run like I was saying earlier. It was great. Saquon was great. He looked like he fits the system. He even got a nice ball from Jalen Hurts over there in the end zone, which in my opinion, that was the dangerous throw. But hey, give credit to Hurts. He got the ball there, but it was a super dangerous throw. I do not advise Hurts to throw that kind of ball again. Other than that, Saquon Barkley looked great. Receiving wise, A.J. Brown had that one long pass, to be honest with you. Look, it was 67 yards. So take that one play away. A.J. Brown had a pretty decent day, I would say. Yeah, he would have had 4 catches for 57 yards at one point. It was an okay day. He really weren't back-breaking, as he didn't have that much big of an impact as Smitty did. Devontae Smith made a lot of big third down catches. That is the one thing I can say about the wide receiving core today. They made plays when they needed to make plays. That is the one thing in general the Eagles done well. Going back to the questions where I said the Packers lost this game more than the Eagles won, because as we saw last night with the Lions and the Rams, if you let a team stick around long enough and don't put them away, they're going to come back and beat you. The Packers had the chance to put the Eagles away multiple times. They didn't do it. And what did the Eagles do? Come down and win the game. Credit to the Eagles. That last drive when they needed to make plays, they made plays. They got third down conversions, kept the Packers from getting the ball back. And inevitably, that's what cost the Packers for losing that game and not being able to get the ball back to more than likely get a chance to score, even though they had a chance and it was looking optimistic until Jordan Love eventually went out. But that, like I was saying, credit to the Eagles in that aspect of this game. They took advantage of what the Packers gave them, and they won the ball game. Good. That is a good team win. That is playoff winning football. That's one thing I can give Jalen Hurts credit for in his career. He's always found a way to win. I will give him credit for that. Moving on to the Packers side of things, as I was saying, the Packers lost this game. The Packers easily lost this game. They had multiple opportunities to put the Eagles to bed, not capitalizing on drives, ended up on kicking field goals. Jordan Love throwing boneheaded picks. That one pick when the safety came up, picked the ball. I don't know what Jordan Love was looking at. Jordan Love needs to stop throwing off his back foot. Jordan Love he's got the arm talent to do it, but at some point Jordan Love's got to understand there's a time and a place to do the back foot stuff. It's going to cost his team ball games. Obviously, there was one ball that Jordan Love threw right there that could have been a pick six also. But inevitably, Jordan Love's stats, he was 17 for 34, 50% passing, 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was not good either. By no aspect of the game was he good at all. He made some good plays when he needed to make these plays. Well, other than that, Jordan Love really didn't have a great game, but it's the first game of the season. Getting a look at the new offense, it wasn't the worst game he's ever had in his career by far. Josh Jacobs running the ball was not great in the first half at all, at any stretch of imagination. Josh Jacobs had a terrible first half. If I'm not mistaken, I don't even think he had 20 yards. He came back in the second half, made a big impact. He ended up with the game with 16 rushes for 84 yards, 5.3 yards a carry. And receiving, Reed cooked in the open field. When he had the ball in the open field, he was cooking. Granted, like I said, that wasn't hard to do with the field aspects and what the field was looking like. But Jalen Reed, I don't remember his first name, but he cooked. He had four catches for 138 yards and a touchdown. But as I said, keep it short and sweet. The Packers definitely lost this game by far. Looking at turnover differential, the Packers and the Eagles were even in total yards, even in passing yards, pretty much even in rushing yards. The Eagles had 6 more first downs. The Eagles had less penalties, and the Eagles turned the ball over more. That is the biggest indicator. The Eagles had 2 more turnovers than the Packers, and the Packers lost this game. And the Eagles easily could have had 2 more of those turnovers, along with Jordan Love could have had 1 more. So honestly, and overall, if they made the plays, you're looking at 5 turnovers compared to 3, compared to 2. You got to capitalize on that. It's not a back-breaking loss for the Packers, but at the grand scheme of things, you wish you would have come out in Brazil with a dub in that game. But give credit to the Eagles for bossing up, giving advantage of what they were given, and winning the game. Give credit to the Eagles. They did not look good as a unit. The defense was still getting picked apart, in my opinion. But the defense, I would say they were getting picked apart at some points, but the defense really kept them in this game, getting them off the field, making Jordan Love uncomfortable. So give the defense credit. They were part of the reason why they were able to come back and even win this game. But at the grand scheme of things, they still got some stuff to work on at corner. I don't like the Maddox guy. He was getting burnt way too much. Queion Mitchell was very, very positive. If the Eagles do not go big, go deep in the playoffs, it is going to be because of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going to hurt his ball club. I think inevitably the defense will be good enough to get him by like they did last night. Obviously, when you face a better team than the Packers looked offensively, you're going to get killed. The Eagles is probably a good chance the Eagles will probably get beat up more than what they did against the Packers because the Packers left way too many points on the field and way too many mistakes and too many penalties. But inevitably, I think that Jalen Hurts will be mainly the reason why this team does not go deep in the playoffs, and that is what it is. Jalen Hurts has got to show up. Jalen Hurts has got to show up to make a deep playoff run. I think the Eagles is going to make the playoffs. But if Jalen Hurts does not play better, he's got to play better. And I think he will play better, but inevitably, I don't think Jalen Hurts will be good enough this year to get the Eagles over the hump. It'll be interesting to see this season. We got plenty of ball game left. But overall, good win for the Eagles, and we're moving on to week 2. If you enjoyed my quick reaction to this video, did you enjoy my analysis? Drop a like on the video. Comment down below. Do you think the Eagles will win the NFC East? Do you think Jalen Hurts is good enough to get them to another Super Bowl and inevitably win another Super Bowl? Let me know down in the comments below. Click this link up here for all my other sports-related videos. And as always, peace, love, and positivity always, y'all. See you.